Hello guys, and welcome to a new Wargame video today by me, Vulcan. Today I have for you a 4 versus 4 on Jungle Lore, and I am playing on Red 4 with my Eastern Bloc deck, which is something that I haven't played around with for absolutely ages, but I thought this game really showcases the power that the Eastern Bloc can have. Also, I'm fulfilling a request to just show off some Czech units. So yeah, this was a perfect replay for it, which I had playing against Val, Deja Vu, SU30SM2, was that 5M2? Yeah, it's an S, sorry, and Trooper, and I'm playing with multiple Meh, Witty and Magnus Mortem. Now this was another game I think that I played on a stream on my Wargame Wednesday, I think it was. I haven't been doing it lately, but I'll try and keep it up in the next weeks to come. Anyway, let's move on to the actual gameplay, and we can see what kind of units I'm placing on the field. So we'll just put it to my point of view. And we can see that I'm starting with a BRDM2 recon unit, just to give me some line of sight. Then we have 6 SPW70s, probably with Moat Schutzen, I think I have. The Scott 2s with the Formosa. We have a T55 AM2 there as well. We have an AHS MI2 and we have an MI25 S24. And the beautiful Eastern Bloc helicopter, which comes with some awesome rocket pods. I also have some units on this right side. Couple of SPW70s there with a Scott 2 with Formosa and a Scott R3. That's my command vehicle. It's going to be heading up to Hotel, as you can see. I've marked that for capture. As for my teammates, it looks like we're working with some Russians, and this looks like possibly a Soviet-Korean alliance deck from the latest DLC. Because you have the Pongays and the BTR 90s and the MIA MTVs. So yeah, probably Sovko. And over on this right side, another Russian deck. So as for this map's sort of dynamics, most of the contention will happen at Echo and at Mike. Gregory is also very much contested. It's mainly down these 3 sectors. Now Eleanor can easily be captured by the blue side early on, but the red side can struggle to capture Michael early on. However, they do have the forest leading into this large area of forest here, which means that if they get there early with AGGMs, they can stop the advance of the blue side coming into Michael. But the blue side can use this little bit of forest here to gain some ground on that side and threaten the command vehicle. And in Gregory, you can see this is pretty balanced. We've got a town on either side. Both teams can enter toward this small mountain, and same on the hill. You've got this tree line in the middle. Whoever really occupies that first gets the main control in Gregory. Now, as you can see, I did actually swap out my Scott for an MI8 with command infantry, just that they were a lot safer in Chariton, and I managed to land that before the Celtics come over. I've got my MI2 here with the MI25, trying to retreat from the Celtics as they move in. My MI2 does go down, but I managed to save the MI25 for now, as the Celtics are now occupied with the MI8s landing on the right side. I brought up a couple of LSTR squads that were occupying the SPW70s, and now using them to fire at the Alouette and the Celtics. So I've moved up my forces up the centre here. I'm not necessarily going for a specific sector in this game other than centre. I'm not going to be like going with my team to Eleanor, Gregory or Michael. I'm going to leave that to them whilst I try and make a push up the middle tree line here. And the reason I'm going to do that is because it's very easy to catch people out. Now I shoot down a Gazelle recon helicopter there. Very nice, easy kill. send my SPWs to support Witty's VDVs as they push into this town. They're just going to be used as recon vehicles. I've got this SPW-70 moving up onto this right side tree line on the side of the road. And now you can see I'm continuing to move forward my troops as I haven't encountered any resistance in the centre. And they are actually getting pretty far at the moment. So the SPWs from up on this hill here are going to be able to provide some fire support with their 14.5mm machine guns. MI8 going to be shot down there. Now these MI8 MTVs being pushed forwards to attack the Canadian Airborne and the Commando Marines, but the VDVs already being slaughtered on the right side here at Eleanor. Meanwhile in the centre you can see my Moat-Schutzen being pushed up, the Scott 2 with the Formosa getting quite far. And I probably shouldn't have stopped here. I was just really being careful not to overextend and lose troops for free. But at the moment, I haven't really lost any of my men. I've lost one SPW-70. LSTRs are nearly out of ammo here, so what I do is bring up a couple of Sopels to take off the pressure. And so, sort of seeing that no forces were stopping me on the top side of this tree line, I've actually moved over these SPW-70s. Now, with the Tiger Had actually firing its HGM, I'm forced to drop out the Moat-Schutzen, and a Leopard 2A4 is on its way. So the Leopard 2A4 is going to deal with these SPW-70s, whilst my Moat-Schutzen make a run across the field. Now we do bring in some napalm on the right side here, but Witty's attack has been destroyed and that's really put him behind. At the moment, if they decided to push from Eleanor to Chariton, there wouldn't have been much I could do about it. Now I'm really hoping that the enemy has a command unit in centre in this tree line here, but my Moat-Schutzen are not having much luck at the moment. A Gazelle AH-1 moved up here by Deja Vu, getting harassed by my SPW-70. Tiger Had going to come in and save the day there as it moves over my Moat-Schutzen squad. So trying to move the Scott 2 forward to get more hits onto the Gazelle. Trying to get my Moat-Schutzen to help to kill off the Tiger Had, but the Tiger Had just staying out of range of their assault rifles, so not much damage done there. A couple of Moat-Schutzen squads moving down the hill here and engaging a Challenger 1 Mark 1. And the idea is to get control of this little bit of tree line here so that I can prevent reinforcements coming down the road here. This is a very strong position to have. Now to relieve my Moat-Schutzen, I bring in a couple of extra squads supported by the SPW-70s that haven't been destroyed yet, and we can easily pin down these territorials and take them out. As the territorials are indeed militia trained, they're just reservists. And we've done a lot of damage to this Challenger 1 Mark 1 as well with the heat rockets from the Moat-Schutzen. And my Formosa catching out a couple of FB432 mortars. And now my Moat-Schutzen going to move up and finish off the territorials and hopefully get a shot onto this Challenger 1 Mark 1. So I managed to do so. The Challenger 1 Mark 1 though gets away with 1 health. And now I'm forced to push through the tree line here to take care of this Challenger Marksman. However, the Challenger Marksman really good against infantry because of its autocannon. And as you can see, it rips apart my squad. So overall in this game, we're in a pretty bad spot. Currently, the enemy team is 228 points ahead to our 1. And that's pretty much because they held sectors whilst we didn't. Now we've managed to keep all of the sectors neutral at the moment. The blue sides managed to get a command vehicle into the back of Michael, which is contesting our one, but they haven't got a command unit into Eleanor yet. So at the moment they could be at an advantage, but they haven't taken advantage of that yet. At Gregory, no one's holding Gregory. If they snuck a CV into this tree line here, they would also be ahead. So at the moment we're pretty far behind in terms of map pressure. But what I'm continuing to do is funnel troops up the centre here to put myself in a good position to cut off reinforcements and to allow me to push towards centre later in the game. So as you can see, more reinforcements coming down the road here. Going to get cut off by my T-55 and the Moat Shoots, and obviously the SPW-70 is still there as well. Those territorials didn't last long at all. Some smoke coming in from the enemy in order to push up Gurkhas onto this town, stopping the Spetsnaz from firing those napalm shells. If the Gurkhas 90 can get into the town, they are going to do a lot of damage to those troops. Now an SPS squad has been moved up the hill here. That's going to get hit by a rocket from the Mi-25S24. They then gets taken down by a shot from the ADATs on the right side here. More reinforcements coming in, and obviously I still have the presence of my units here. My Formosa not really going to be able to do much against the Saracens because they only have grenade launchers, but I thought it'd be worth moving the Formosa up just in case there's any infantry with them. Black Panzer Gepard A2 going to get shots onto my Serpel, and that's going to go down really easily. And now I'm hoping for side shots onto these Leopard 2s. So I'm carefully micromanaging my T-55, and you can see I do manage to pull off that side shot onto one of the Leopard 2s, which is a big deal because that leaves one of them on 1 health, which means it's going to get picked off really easily by any infantry squad I send at them. And the Formosa squad being picked off here by the Gepard A2 after being spotted by the Saracen. Obviously the Formosa not spotting any infantry, probably a bit of a bad move to keep them engaged there. Maybe should have ran them away. But knowing that the Leopard 2s have now moved into this forest, brought up some more troops to deal with that. And currently what I'm doing is just occupying one player by pushing up the centre here towards centre. And meanwhile my team doing the best job they can to prevent the enemy advancing in Gregory. Now at Eleanor they finally managed to get a command unit into there, and we have nothing contesting that. That's mainly due to the fact that Whitty's original attack just took so much out of him that he didn't have enough to really reinforce it, and I wasn't really prepared to send my own reinforcements up to Eleanor because of the strong position they have in this town here, and I don't have any napalm on this deck, I don't think. So at T-72 here being taken out, the second one going to go down to the longbow, and Whitty just sort of bleeding points into the enemy, but just nothing he can do. So Leopard 2 moving up through this forest. They get taken out by the LSTR squads. The Black Panzer goes down as well. And so does this aircraft. The A-10 Thunderbolt. Gets hit by 2 of the infrared missiles from the LSTR. And now with these Saracens moving across the field, I'm going to try and pick them off with the LSTRs. And that I do. Any more unit size spots I blow up as well, because the LSTRs have amazing 70% accuracy on their heat rocket and 24 AP power, which makes them really strong against tanks at close range, or at any range because they're heat rockets. So I'm trying to move my LSTR discreetly through this tree line because obviously I can see that there is a tank here. I'm moving these ones out across the open on the right side to take on this infantry unit, the SBS. So my LSTRs bumping into some territorials, going to move those back just slightly so that they are covered by the forest. But seeing that the tank comes up, I micro back forwards because obviously LSTR, so much better than territorials. And the last thing I need is this chieftain pounding on my LSTR squad there, whilst it's trying to kill off the SBS. Brought up some reinforcements here. Harrier GR7 comes in. Unfortunately misses these SPW-70s with the Mote inside. I wouldn't have cared if the other APCs got destroyed. But just reinforcing this area so I can push forwards the LSTR in a prime position now to take out the Chieftain Mark V. Unfortunately, some bombs coming in and taking out both my Commandozi squads. Really, really nice placed shots there. Chieftain Mark V goes down, however. And now from range, I'm attacking this Leopard 2A4. And you can see that is doing a lot of damage, even though it's hitting the front armor. Now I'm moving these SPWs behind the Leopard 2A4 here, just so that it can fire into the back, because the SPW-70 does actually have 1 AP power, so it can fire into the back armor of the Leopard 2A4 if it gets close enough. But the LSTR squads do finish off the Leopard 2A5, and we do actually shoot down a Harrier there with my Sopal. So my anti-air placed aggressively up this tree line is actually catching out a lot of the strike aircraft that they are using to attack this town. You can see in the meantime I have helped Magnus Mortem by bringing up some Mote to help defend this town against all the territorials and Gurkhas pushing on it. So we're just trying our best to keep back the enemy at the moment. The Granata met AGS-17s here, killing a lot of these Fullscreen out in the open with those grenade launchers. Really, really nice squad these are. I really feel like Eastern Bloc just has some really special units of infantry. The Granatamet being one of them, Commandozi, you have the LSTR, the Mote Schutzen, just really, really good combination of units on the infantry tab. So continuing the pressure up towards centre, really trying my best to make this unorthodox strategy work on this map, because I know that there's not really much chance of us pushing over through Gregory because they're going to have that well defended. Michael moving across the open, my deck's not really built for that, although I do have some quite heavy tanks. And on the right, again, Ellen is just way too secure for me to try and attack that. Now the only place I know that might be less defended is centre, but now I'm pushing up against Trooper with his riflemen and SU-30 with his leopards. So all the players sort of coming together here to stop me from pushing towards centre and turning the game around. Because currently I've faced Deja Vu, I've faced Trooper, and I've also faced SU. Unfortunately my BRDM there bumping into a couple of infantry squads. My Mote Schutzen here doing the best they can to kill off a few units, but they're just being suppressed by the tanks and all the APCs. And after one of the squad gets destroyed, I do manage to get a couple of sneaky heat rockets off, but eventually that squad dies as well. Now at the moment, as you can see, the enemy are still at a +1 advantage, but with us actually destroying the command unit at the back of Michael, we got a foot back into this game. The trouble is, we're not contesting at Gregory. As long as we hold Michael, we can let them hold Eleanor. So that's working out for us at the moment. What we can't let happen is them control Gregory. Now if I hadn't have been curbed so much at the top side of this tree line, I probably could have pushed really hard into center and forced them to give up this sector, which is a +2 sector. And it could have possibly turned the game around. But at this moment, I'm in a pretty bad spot. And I finally just try to send some units to the right. But as you can see, and as I predicted, it is really well defended. You've got the Canadian Airborne here. You've got the Super M60 defending. And my unit's not going to stand a chance against bunkered down Commando Marines and Canadian Airborne without the help of any napalm that I don't actually have on the deck, I don't think. And these LSTR that are trying to sneak up towards center, well, they get sniped by a couple of tanks in their APCs. And I'm really not sure what to do now, because I've had to give up this tree line because of the amount of troops that came in here. I saw all of the American troops come in, all the riflemen and so on, so I just sort of gave up on that, and I've reassigned all my troops over to Sheraton. And now I'm also bringing over troops to help the defense of Gregory. Now we finally managed to get a command unit into Gregory to contest it, to stop the bleeding of the +1. But now we've got to do is really hold on, because this is a pretty obvious place to have a command unit. We just got to make sure that they don't bomb us out, or don't push heavily onto it, just to make sure that the command unit dies. So yeah, a lot of micromanagement going on here. Just bringing units backwards and forwards. Trying to decide where I should attack. And I finally chose up this slope here. I was hoping that maybe I could get some infantry close to this cliff line here, and then move up and capture this town. That's why I've got the Formosa here ready to move across the open with their grenade launchers, and I'm also bringing over some other SPW-70s as well. Some assault engineers being caught out in the open. A couple of T-55s gonna do a lot of damage to those. Leopard C2 Mexus though being pushed forwards here, along with the riflemen. And the American and Canadian units just doing so much damage now. And seeing that I'm not going to get any more reinforcements toward this town, I move up my Formosa. And unfortunately, there is a Challenger marksman there, which absolutely annihilates one of my Formosa squad. Whilst the Leopard 1A5 here, along with the Challenger marksman, destroys the other. Now I get a decent bombing strike into this tree line, but it's not enough to save my Moat-Schutzen. I've just been completely surrounded here as I tried to push up towards this cliff. And it's all hands on deck now to defend this command unit. Although we have now lost Michael to a neutralizing CV. Now Deja Vu, just moving his Rover CP around. I mark it with an attack order. But unfortunately it looks like it's going to be too late. 490 points to our 1 at the moment. And I'm now pushing up infantry into the left side forest in Gregory to try and push round and get to this command unit before the game ends. I'm desperate to keep this going, and at the moment taking out this command unit is our only hope. Artillery into the backside of Michael could also help, but it's slowly ticking down. B5 comes in with the payload and is going to take out the command unit with one more tick to go. 499 points now to our 1. They need 1 more point to win this game. But we're holding on by the skin of our teeth. And I'm continuously pushing round these Moshutsen. So just trying to get a better position now into Gregory. I managed to get a nice shot onto the Challenger 1 Mark III with the Moshutsen. Unfortunately, the Moshutsen heat rocket only has 14 AP power. So even though it hit the side armor of that Challenger, it didn't do too much damage, but these VDV do, because they have 24 AP power and 70% accuracy. So those VDV from Witty actually managing to take out that unit. I'm being attacked across the bridge here now, but my LSTR holding strong. Some artillery coming in to actually help out with the fire support of the Leopard C2 Mexus at a distance. Those LSTR having problems, but I bring in a T-72 M1M to take on the Leopard C2 Mexus. And that occupies its attention, whilst my LSTR try and finish off the rifleman in the open. So my T-72 does get the kill, and now he's free to focus on the Fullscreen moving across the open. My Moshutsen pushing down from the hill, trying to get into a good position on the top side of Gregory. We've managed to kill the command unit in Michael again, which has put us at a +1 lead for the first time in this game. So now I have some Commandozi and Scots moving up. They're going to finish off the last APC. Got my T-72 firing the last shot onto the Volksjägers. And I'm continuing the aggression. So we've managed to get rid of a lot of the units on the top side of Gregory now. And I'm actually just about to get a infantry squad up there. But unfortunately for us, Warrior Milans come across our command unit on the left, our left flank falls, and that gets rid of our +1 lead. All they have to do is get a command unit in here, and they win, and that's exactly what happens. So, a loss from me. But I thought that was an incredibly fun game to watch. An incredibly fun game to play, especially toward the end there when it kind of looked like for a second that we may have had a chance to pull that back, but unfortunately not. Eastern Bloc deck did really well. You can see my kill death is not great. 1,880 kills to 1,965 losses, so a bit negative. But considering the circumstances and considering the fact that I came up against 3 other players, I think I did okay. You can see actually even on the winning team we have negative kill death. It's just a lot of attrition overall. Multiple there. One person aside from Magnus Mortem who got positive scores, so good jobs by my teammates to get those kills in. But here we go. This is really what's worth looking at. Check out these LSTR squads. That one took out an Alouette, a Longbow, and a Rifleman 90 squad. This one took out a Gazelle H1. These squads just paying themselves off so well. We've got these LSTR squads here. Leopard 2 kills. Black Panzer Gepard A2 kill there. This LSTR squad got a Thunderbolt kill. It killed a Chieftain Mark 5, a Leopard 2A4. Just so many kills. And then we've got the T-72 there. Leopard C2 Mexus and Volksjägers. This LSTR squad managed to kill off a Canadian Airborne squad and a Super M60. You can see this SPW actually killed a Chieftain Mark 5. That's because of the AP value that I was talking about. But yeah, just in general, really nice kills for the LSTRs in particular. I didn't really show off the power of the Formosa. They can generally do a lot better against enemy infantry. The Granatomet I showcase them pretty well. They can catch our infantry in the open. They're really good for fire support onto towns because of the grenade launchers. But anyway, this was just me, sort of playing with my Eastern Bloc deck. It's not a deck I would necessarily choose to be competitive with, but I thought this was an interesting game to watch anyway. So hopefully you appreciate the Wargame footage. Thanks for watching, hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.